I want to go over some of just the basic steps for creating a simple map. So when you're working in your data view, which is this left link here, or there, your data view, you can see your layers and your data frame. And I have 3 layers here. And this is not the way my map will look. But if I want to make a map layout, I'm going to switch to layout view. And I can do that there, or I can do that there. The first thing I want to think about is, what is the orientation of my page? And because Oregon, when it's projected correctly and even not correctly, has more width than length, I'm going to rotate my page from portrait to landscape. And you do that in File, Page and Print Setup. And there are 2 places to check that landscape is indicated, there and there. And this is the size of my page. Now, because I changed the orientation, I need to move these bounding boxes to fit the page. And if you can see here, there are these little gray dotted lines. That's the limit of my printing area. So if I make my map over here, it's going to get cut off. So I want to make sure I'm well within those printing areas. And then, because counties is my focus, I'm going to go ahead and zoom to that layer to make it as big as possible. Now, that's going to not allow me to have much room for a legend, but I think I can go with that right now. And you can take a look at 100% to see what your symbols will look like and your text will look like, to see if you need to change that. And then I can fit it back on the page. And so then we're going to insert the elements of a map. I'm going to insert a title. Okay. And that's a little small, so I'm going to double click that. The first time I do that, I get code. I'm going to take it off full black. And that will fit. Some people like it on the top of the map. I do as well. But you don't want it floating up like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that in there. Next, I want to add the legend. Insert legend. These are the layers that will be added to the legend. Counties is obvious, so I'm going to send that back and not add that to my legend. I can add a legend border if I like. I can add a background color. I could round the corners. So when I do it that way, it automatically puts a gap around the legend. If I don't want that frame to be black, I have to go in here and change that way. Okay, so I have a legend. Now I'm going to insert a north arrow. North arrow should not be the largest thing or the biggest focus on your map. And because north is actually at a bit of an angle, the north arrow is sort of a convention that we're adding. There's my north arrow. I'm going to insert a scale bar. Now I'm kind of running into trouble with things being crowded. But I'll deal with that in a minute. I'm going to go up to 100%. Go down and take a look. My scale bar should be in even increments. 100, 150, 200, 250, something that you could mentally chunk out easily. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to shrink that down. Pull it out to 150. And it's crowding my map. I can switch it down like that a little bit. I don't love it, but it will work. Position it there. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to full page again. So I have a north arrow, I have a title that makes sense. Now I need to add my name and the projection information and the source information. And actually, I've got to, there it is. I need to make the Oregon just a little bit smaller on the map. So I'm going to go to 3 million. There we go. That gives me a little more wiggle room here. I'm going to move this up just a bit. Now I can move this up a little bit. And I can move that up a bit to put my name and other information below. So the first thing I'm going to do is add, wait a minute, are we projected? Let me, yeah, we're good. Okay, I'm going to add my, you're seeing my screen, which has got a funny resolution, but it actually, if you were to print this out, it would look beautiful. So I'm going to add the projection. So insert dynamic text, the coordinate system. That's way more than I need. So I'm going to right click and convert that to a graphic. Now I can double click and I can delete all of this stuff because it's just repeated. So there's the North American datum, 1983, Oregon statewide Lambert is the coordinate system. The projection is the Lambert conformal conic. And then under here, I can add source. And I can copy and paste the price citation here. I'm going to make sure it's left justified. Choose OK. And that is just going to fit there. So I may go in here and change that symbol to a 9. Move it up a bit. Now I'm going to add a text box with my name and the date. Insert text box. And the text box comes in as a tiny, tiny, tiny box. So I just start typing junk in it till I can see it. Then I can double click it and I can add what I want. Oh, cap locks. Make sure that's left justified. Say OK. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to save that. Should have saved it earlier. I'm going to export as a PDF. Make sure it gets put into the folder that I want to be able to refer back to that, which is not that one. And then I should be able to update that map PDF.